Hey everyone, ready for some seriously easy health upgrades? We're doing a deep dive today into 17 easy habits for physical health and fitness from this blog, A Point of Light. It's all about tiny little tweaks, that can make a big difference, especially for those of us, and I know you're out there, who are all about efficiency and realistic goals.
Totally. And what I think is really cool is that this post doesn't just list habits, it actually goes into the why,
Yeah.
like the psychology of making habits stick and finding what works for you.
Yeah, exactly. I was sold when I saw dark chocolate for brain function. Who doesn't want to hear more about that? But then there's also this thing about a posture corrector. I have questions about that one.
We'll definitely get to that. I mean, it's good to remember that not every tip's going to be for everyone, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the beauty of this deep dive, I think. Yeah. You can pick and choose what makes sense for you.
Okay, so let's get started with habit number 1, which is all about joining a fitness challenge. I've tried those before, and they can be really motivating, but also kind of intimidating. Is there a strategy to picking the right one?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's not like a one-size-fits-all thing, right? The key is to find a challenge that actually matches your fitness level and your goals. Don't go jumping into something crazy intense if you're just starting out. Find something that feels doable and maybe even fun.
So instead of aiming for a marathon right away, maybe start with a walking challenge, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And think about what kind of support you need too. Some people really thrive in groups. Others prefer to go it alone. Lots of options. So just shop around and find what feels right.
That makes sense. So habit number 2 is moving your body 3 to 5 days a week. This one seems pretty straightforward. I'm curious, though, about how to actually make that happen consistently.
The secret.
Mm.
Find stuff you actually like doing.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of forcing yourself into something you hate, think about what you loved as a kid. Dancing, biking, swimming, even just playing tag, Getting back to that kind of energy, it can make movement feel less like a chore and more like a celebration of what your body can do.
Oh, I love that. So no more guilt trips about not loving the gym. If dancing in your living room is your thing, just go for it.
Exactly. And don't forget about all those small movements you make every day. Those add up too. Habits 3, 6, and 7, taking the stairs, parking farther away, walking instead of driving, all of that makes a difference.
It's like sneaky exercise. But I also noticed they emphasize drinking water first thing in the morning, which seems kind of basic. Anything new or surprising about this habit?
It may seem basic, but starting your day with water is like a reset button for your body. Rehydrates you after sleeping, gets your metabolism going, and it's just a nice little healthy ritual, sets the tone for the day.
It's like a little self-care moment before things get crazy. The blog also mentions vitamins, specifically iron and vitamin B complex. Should everyone be taking those?
Well, iron and B vitamins are definitely important for energy and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But remember, supplements should be individualized, Don't just start popping pills. Talk to your doctor first. See if you actually need them. They can figure out what's right for you, the right type and dosage.
So no self-prescribing vitamins based on a blog post.
No way. Always best to get personalized advice from a pro. Okay, so let's talk balanced meals, habit number 10. Seems kind of self-explanatory, but why is it so important in the context of all these other habits? Balanced meals are like the foundation, They give you sustained energy and well-being. It's like this. When you give your body protein, healthy fats, and carbs, you're giving it the tools it needs to work its best. And when you feel good and energized, you're way more likely to stick to those other healthy habits, like moving your body and making good choices.
It's all connected. Speaking of good choices, the blog talks about healthy snacks, having them ready to go, which I get. If there are chips in the pantry, I'm going to eat them.
That's where the psychology of habits comes in, right? If healthy choices are easy and right there, you're more likely to grab them. It's about setting yourself up for success. So pre-cut your veggies, portion out those nuts, make those healthy choices the easy choices.
Prep is key. All right, next is habit number 12, trying new healthy recipes on the regular. I love this one because it takes the boring out of healthy eating. But is there more to it than just keeping things interesting?
Totally. Trying new recipes means you're getting a wider range of ingredients, which is good for your gut microbiome. A healthy gut is linked to better digestion, immunity, even mental health. So win-win.
Wow, so good for mind and body. Habit number 13 is about listening to your body. Gotta be honest, sometimes I'm not even sure what that means. Can you break that down a bit?
It's about tuning in to those signals your body's sending you, about hunger and fullness and energy levels. Instead of just eating because it's time to eat, you start being more mindful of what your body actually needs. This can help you avoid overeating and just have a better relationship with food overall.
Like becoming a detective for your own body.
Exactly. You start paying attention to those little cues, like what does real hunger feel like? When do you start feeling full? How does different food make you feel? It's a journey of self-discovery.
I like that. Puts you in control of your own well-being. Okay, habit number 14 is getting good sleep. We all know how important sleep is, but what are we maybe overlooking when it comes to this habit?
The blog says to aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. But what we often forget is how good sleep affects everything else. When you're well rested, you make healthier choices all day long. More energy to move, less likely to crave junk food, and you handle stress better.
So sleep is like the foundation for all these other healthy habits.
Exactly. Speaking of things we love, habit 15 is about having treats, but in moderation. Life's too short to deprive yourself, right?
Agreed. The blog even mentions that dark chocolate is good for brain function. Tell me more about this.
Right. Dark chocolate's full of these things called flavonols. They're antioxidants that can boost blood flow to the brain and improve how it works. There's even research saying it might help protect against age-related decline.
Sold. Dark chocolate is on the grocery list, but the key is moderation. Yep.
Absolutely. It's about finding that balance where you can enjoy those treats without overdoing it.
Balance is key. Okay, ready for habit 16. This one is practicing mindful breathing every day. It's amazing how something so simple can have such a big impact.
Right. Mindful breathing is like a mini meditation. You can do it anywhere, anytime. Brings you into the present moment, calms your thoughts, lowers stress levels. The blog even suggests doing it when you're feeling overwhelmed, like a portable stress reliever.
That's a good tip. Okay, last but not least, habit number 17. Wearing SPF every day. Super important, but easy to forget.
It is. And the blog makes a good point. Even when it's cloudy, those UV rays can still get through and damage your skin. Wearing SPF every day protects you from sunburn, wrinkles, and most importantly, skin cancer.
So no excuses. We should be wearing it every day, rain or shine.
You got it. And they even suggest a specific one. It's the Naked Sundays Cabana Clear Water Gel Serum SPF 50, if you're looking for a rec.
That's helpful. Wow. Okay, we've covered all 17 habits. That's a lot.
It is. But remember, you don't have to do them all at once. Pick one or two that speak to you and go from there.
Great advice. It's not about being perfect. It's about making progress.
Exactly. And we're not quite done yet. Remember those interesting details we talked about earlier?
Mhm.
We still need to dig into those. You're right. We still have those little nuggets to get to. Let's start with the one that caught my eye, magnesium glycinate for better sleep. It's in that habit about getting enough sleep, number 14. What are your thoughts on that?
I've definitely heard of magnesium for sleep, but I don't really get how it works. Does it just knock you out? Or is there more to it?
It's not like a knockout punch or anything.
Hmm.
Magnesium actually helps regulate some of the chemicals in your brain, like GABA, which helps you relax and, fall asleep. It can also relax your muscles, which is great if you tend to feel all tense at night.
So it's more like a gentle push towards sleep. Makes me feel better about trying it.
Exactly. But like with any supplement, it's always smart to check with your doctor first, especially if you have any health conditions or are taking meds.
Good point. Okay, the other thing I was really curious about was the posture corrector. That was in habit number 5, maintaining good posture. What's the deal with those things? Do they actually work?
Yeah, that's a popular one. People ask me about those all the time. Posture correctors are definitely trendy, but it's important to remember they're not some magic fix. They can be a helpful tool, but they work best when you're also making other changes, like strengthening exercises and stretching.
So you can't just strap one on and expect perfect posture.
Nope. And there are a bunch of different types out there. Some are better than others. Some you only wear for short periods to help train your muscles. Others are meant for more ongoing support. The best one for you depends on what you need and how bad your posture is.
So what's the best way to start? Should we try a posture corrector or focus on the exercise and stretches first?
Honestly, if you're worried about your posture, the best thing to do is talk to a professional, like a physical therapist.
Mm.
They can look at your posture and see if there are any underlying issues. And then they can recommend the right approach. Could be exercises, maybe some ergonomic changes, or, maybe a posture corrector in some cases.
So it's about getting advice tailored to you, not just buying the first one you see online.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
all about finding what works for you. Remember we talked about personalization. Same idea here.
That makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
Okay, so we've covered all 17 habits and we've gone through those interesting details. Feels like we've really broken it all down. What are some of the big takeaways you hope our listeners are getting from this?
3 big things come to mind for me. First, even small changes can make a huge difference. You don't have to completely change your life to improve your health. Little tweaks here and there, if you stick with them, can really add up.
It's like building momentum one step at a time.
Exactly. Second, it's so important to find things you enjoy. The blog really focuses on choosing activities and healthy foods that you actually like. That's what makes these habits something you can stick with.
It's about making those things you should do into things you want to do.
Love that. And finally, the connection between your mind and body. We talked about how important sleep is, the benefits of mindful breathing, even how gut health is linked to mental well-being. It's a good reminder that taking care of your physical health also takes care of your mental health. They go hand in hand.
It's about a whole person approach to well-being. I think that's really empowering for our listeners. They have the power to make choices that support their overall well-being, starting today.
Totally. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one last thing to think about.
Ooh, I like a good thought-provoking question. What is it?
How can you take these habits and make them your own? How can you adapt them to your life, your preferences, your goals? It's not about blindly following someone else's rules. It's about taking this information and making it work for you.
That's so important. It's like building your own personal health habit toolkit.
Exactly. What works for one person might not work for another. It's all about finding what feels right for you, what you enjoy, and what fits into your life.
And for anyone listening who's feeling inspired and wants to dive deeper, I definitely recommend checking out the other stuff on A Point of Light. They're really good at making these topics easy to understand and engaging.
I agree. They have a ton of great info on mindset, habits, and self-love. Definitely worth a look.
So keep diving deep and keep looking for those little sparks of inspiration. They can make a big difference.
And remember, the journey to well-being is a marathon, not a sprint. Enjoy the process, celebrate those small wins, and be kind to yourself along the way.
It's kind of cool how many of these habits are about like being more in the moment,
Yeah,
mindful.
I know, right? It's like all these small things are like little reminders to just slow down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like even just choosing the stairs over the elevator.
Totally. Suddenly you're more aware of your body, your breathing, what's around you.
And parking further away,
Yeah.
could mean a few extra minutes of walking, noticing things like trees and stuff, feeling the air.
Instead of just like rushing from place to place all stressed out.
I'm even thinking about that water thing in the morning. Like even that can be a mindful moment.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a chance to pause, hydrate, and kind of set your intention for the day.
So it's not even just about the physical stuff. It's about a different way of like moving through the world.
Which is perfect for our efficiency-minded listener. Finding those ways to sneak mindfulness in.
This whole deep dive has really shown me how much power there is in those everyday choices.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to think that we can, like, create a healthier, happier life.
Totally. Just one step, one breath, one glass of water at a time.
I think our listeners walking away with a lot to think about.
For sure. And a whole new sense of what's possible.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because this whole well-being thing, it's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
And we all get to choose our own path.
So, to our listener out there, keep exploring, keep trying new things, keep finding those little things that spark joy.
And until next time, happy diving.
And that's our deep dive for today. We hope you enjoyed this exploration of 17 easy habits for physical health and fitness from the blog A Point of Light. Remember, small changes can lead to big results, so pick a habit or two that resonates with you and start there. And if you're looking for more inspiration, be sure to check out A Point of Light for a wealth of information on mindset, habits, and self-love. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.